It's not his stuff, is it?
What?
Is it?
Just getting that goes for me.
I know, 'cause you know,
Nice.
well, I mean, does it surprise anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Dodgers. I can't just one of those situations where, although, yeah, it's taking this long, I don't think it's really that surprising. The Dodgers are fully in for it right now. They're hoping to get everybody back healthy before the playoffs. And like I said a couple weeks ago, these last few series, at least the Padres ones and the Reds one, have been very pivotal in terms of winning the championship. So I think you're making the right steps here going forward. You stunted out the Padres, at least for now,
Has the Mariners help you out?
a little bit. And the further away you can pull away from them, the better. You still have the tiebreaker, but you don't wanna end anywhere close to the Padres and give them any kind of belief that they're in the same area as you. But at this point, it doesn't necessarily surprise me. Does it help him in his MVP race? Unfortunately, I think so. I say unfortunately just because I'm a Phillies fan, and again, I still stand by this statement because I keep hearing everybody talk about it now. We've been talking about it for weeks. The possibility of Kyle Schwarber and Kyle Raleigh both being, well, for lack of a better word, screwed out of the MVPs. Now, Cal, in my opinion, is making a much more convincing argument that you can't do that to him. Because although, yes, Aaron Judge is right next to him in terms of home runs hit, we're used to seeing that from Aaron. And Cal being able to turn this Seattle team into a playoff contender, I shouldn't necessarily give him the majority of the respect for that because the entire roster has really been great. Julio is fantastic. I mean, they traded for some great people. They're still waiting for some to come off of a suspension that was, levied a couple days ago. But it is, at least in my opinion, with Cal turning a team like Seattle into a contender, you can't necessarily turn away from that. Someone like Kyle, who also has the same issue as Aaron Judge, you're kinda used to seeing him hit this many bombs. At least I am as a Phillies fan. I've always known Kyle Schwarber is one of those guys that walks up and he's gonna hit a home run for you more often than not. I just if I see Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge win the MVP this year just because they're on the Dodgers and the Yankees and they are who they are, I'm gonna start harping just like the NBA that the MLB, MVP award is solely a popularity contest because clearly you would not care about their play. These 2 guys have been absolute monsters, and just hearing any pundit, let alone what level they're on, bring this up, and everybody's got the same thought process about it, kinda bugs me just a little bit, because that means everybody's got the same idea here that the MLB is really starting to move that way, and that's not a good look for you. It's really not, especially for a league that's been struggling to keep any type of viewership and keep people in the stadiums. I mean, Dodger fans barely show up until the 4th inning, but I mean, that's just Dodger fans. At this point, though, I think it's just one of those things where it's gonna be rough to see if they end up snubbing those 2 out. I think you're gonna lose a lot of viewership. And then we're gonna go back to, well, they just pay. Everybody pays for stars in baseball. And I mean, I think I speak for a lot of baseball fans when I say I am tired of that argument, genuinely tired of that argument. But when, you know, we have all the evidence to the contrary, it's kind of hard not to make that argument. We got to take a break, pay some bills. On the other side, we're going to talk a little local stuff here in Bakersfield. We got VillageFest coming up. Our friend Miranda is going to talk all about that, what you can expect, and how you can hear our guy 24KG right out there at VillageFest and where he's going to be set up at, because I'm very curious. This is the Early Bird Special right here on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. And welcome back here, the Early Bird Special Hour 2. And we are here with our first guest of the day, Miss Miranda Whitworth here. If you're a local and you do not go to VillageFest or know what that is, I don't know what the heck you're doing with your life, because this thing has been around forever and I love it so much.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time, 29 years.
29 years.
Yeah.
How have you gotten before we get this going, actually,
Sure.
I should press or set off this table correctly.
Okay.
What is VillageFest for people who have no idea what we're talking about?
Okay, so VillageFest takes place September 6th at the Kern County Museum, 6 to 10 p.m. For the price of admission, you get 5 stages, you get over 100 samples of beers, you get 30 local restaurants, over 60 wines. And then on those 5 stages, we have 3 bands per stage. And then on stage number 5, back in the Neon Garden, we actually have a massive DJ stage going off. So we have like our kind of beach club neon dance party in the back. And
Nice.
this year, VillageFest is sponsored by Kona Big Wave. So thank you very much to Kona Big Wave.
Fantastic. Love to hear that.
But yeah, it's just a big food and drinking and music and entertainment festival, all to benefit children's charities in Kern County. 100% of the net
My next
proceeds.
question is where all this money goes.
100% of the net proceeds go to careforkids.org, which is a grant program for children's charities only in Kern County. And the entire event is volunteer run. So we don't have administrative costs. We don't have an executive director, that sort of thing. So after, the vendors, the lights get paid, after we pay the bills, all the money goes to kids.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's always lovely to hear. But when did all of this get started? How did this really become a thing? And how is it now running for almost 30 years?
So even more than 30 years ago, because we took a break for a couple of years with COVID. So we're kind of like on 31 years, like
I was
if
saying,
we want to be
as long as I've been
chronological
alive,
about
really.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It started with just kind of this group of people. A lot of the same of them are still around on the committee helping to put it on every year, that got together. They wanted to have this party. It started in a backyard. Then it was on top of the parking garage near the Bank of America building downtown. And then it moved to the Kern County Museum. In there, they formed the 501c3 so they could funnel the funds appropriately. But it really just started with, like Ralph, who owns Forgotti's. He was one of the founders. Rick Peace, who owned Wikis, he was one of the founders. You've got some Bonnie and Mike Ramsey and Mike Willis, who owns Willis and Williams Design. He was one of the founders, and they're still all there on that committee. 31 plus years later, it's our 29th year. So that's how it started.
Yeah, they're washing the windows.
I was like,
what is that?
We're having an earthquake over here.
That scared the Jesus out of me. I thought that was me for a second. I apologize.
Well, I'm a big music guy, so
Turn my mic off.
when it comes down to music, and I will say I met Miranda when I was probably a little child, with about Verdict's age, when I was 16 years old.
I'm not that young.
She is from the radio world. I used to work down the street over at Clear Channel. Even before it was Clear Channel Way, all 3. Romeo down the hall was right across with Mingo's Madhouse and all those fun days. But I remember in the beginning we used to have Ken Willette over at Advanced Beverage, and it's cool to see the growth over the years. But going back to the music side, I mean, what kind of is it all local?
Oh yeah, all local bands. The bands are fairly volunteer too. Like the guys get some passes and enough kind of a small enough check kind of to cover their expenses, but we're not paying local bands thousands of dollars to come out and play.
No.
You've got kind of your standards, your Angels Roost, your Mento, your Velorio, your Dub Seeds. And tons of like kind of newer bands too. My Matt Munoz, who is the lead singer of Mento Buru, and also my husband. He
name drop.
Name drop. He books all of the bands for VillageFest, and I handle all the media. So it's kind of been a family affair for 10, 15 years. But he does a really good job of making sure that he's booking bands that are out there that are working, bands that have good following on social, that have good following in the clubs, that, if you go out to see them, that they're gonna sound good. The singer can sing, and the guitarist can play, and the horns are gonna be in tune, and that sort of thing. And you know, we love our cover bands. We have tons of cover bands in town, but we want to make sure that not everybody's set is going to be the same. Not everybody's covering the same songs at VillageFest. So every stage you go to, you laugh.
Oh yeah, I get it.
You laugh.
Oh, I get it.
So every stage you go to, you're going to hear different music, and every band is going to be playing something different.
Awesome.
There's not going to be a lot of repeats going on, and you're going to be seeing different musicians in every band on every stage.
That's
so
awesome.
there you go. And for the first time, we are going to have a full DJ stage, and it's going to be back there in the Neon Garden, so people can really just like get back there and dance.
Right.
We've had like a really great success over the last few years, having, you know, stations like yours and our friends all over town kind of come up and set up their tents and set up, you know, like a PA and get some mixers out on the corners and that sort of thing. And people just like hang out and dance and like listen to music. And it's been so popular, we're actually creating a stage area for that specifically. So that's kind of how we're evolving it this year.
So is this going to be in the back with all of the neon lights and stuff like that? So not in the grass area, but more towards the back.
Yeah. So all the stages are set up. You've got the craft beer stage, which is set up closer to like Chester, where the gazebo is. And then you've got the lawn stage, which is set up there in the middle. You got Kahuna, which is towards the back by the chapel and the train. And then you have the neon stage, which is back there, like underneath all the signs, that really cool neon plaza that's back there. So you've got all the stages all over the place. And
That's funny.
really
I was just thinking last year, I was like, you know, they could really turn this into a nice dance floor
area.
For
sure.
So that's actually funny that you guys were able to pull that off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going to have a club back there.
So name drop a couple of the drinks and the food places that you're going to have this year.
Oh gosh. Well, so Kona Big Wave is our presenting sponsor. We're super stoked about that. We always have them out. And then, I mean, my favorite, and it really is like the restaurants that put the effort in, but like Forgotti's always sets up like that giant area. They've got the tent, they've got the string lights, and you know, Ralph is one of the founders, so he's always got a show out. We have tons of new restaurants that always kind of come in. So you're going to see, I would say about 30% of our restaurants every year are going to be some of like the newer restaurants that people kind of flex in and flex out. A lot of wines from the Central Coast. And then we always have like sort of like the new sort of drink trends that are happening too. So we have like lots of seltzers, Beatbox is always out. And then you're going to see too, as you leave, like we have like NA beers that we're handing out to people or NA beverages as they're leaving too. So there's like a mix. There's something for everyone, for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know. This beatbox thing that's been coming up, I'm not a fan. I can't get behind it. But
people love it, dude.
Everybody loves that thing.
You're giving like craft beer, though.
A little bit. I'm more of a Guinness guy, to be honest with you. That's my go-to at a bar.
Right.
But I will. But don't get me wrong. I have my time around the craft beer area during this.
Just a nice Guinness on a 107-degree day.
Exactly. It could be warm.
Quenching.
It could be warm. It's fine.
You just
that's the
toss
best time to have
that
it.
is the best.
Oh,
that's what you go for.
I'm Irish through and through. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Just a nice. It's like just
Guinness,
drinking a
Jameson,
giant
whiskey,
bowl of oatmeal.
Right. So good.
Hey, you know what? It's good. I like all that stuff. I really like a nut ale. I love like a brown ale. Super fun, very flavorful. But get me on a 107-degree day, and like I've got a fridge full of Tecate Light. Tecate Light, baby, all day long. It's cheap. It goes down easy. You can drink them all day long. So like those are kind of my favorite stuff. You know. So
no, I totally get it. I grew up just loving Guinness for some reason. I've always loved it.
Well, it's all about those trends. We've had Kyle from Dionysus. He's doing like beer slushies and the sour beers. My older brother loves these sour beers. I can't do it. I'm not a big fan of the sour beers, but hey, we've also had Alejandro from Bakersfield Pizza Co. is pumped. He's going to be out there. So I'm excited. I always know it's because it's always the Saturday before football kicks off.
The Saturday after Labor Day.
Yes.
Okay,
I know I have to
right there.
cut it off around
the NFL is, it maps the world around it. That's the whole point, man. Everything leads up into football season. It's the best time of the year.
Yeah.
The best time of the year.
So I can enjoy it Saturday and hope that I don't have to wake up crying with my Dolphins on Sunday morning. So it's always a great time.
You can have an extra beer though while you do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Drown your sorrow, baby.
Exactly.
Drown your sorrow.
Drown them early so that way you know it's okay. It's just another season. It doesn't matter.
How do our listeners get tickets?
I think you guys are giving them away.
Are they?
Some people are giving them away.
I don't know if we might. I actually haven't looked today. We might have a pair to give away, but I haven't
on the
heard.
show.
We will.
But if you don't
We
win
want
them,
to float some tickets to us. I mean, we can
if
gladly.
you're not winning them, just go to Eventbrite. They're for sale on Eventbrite, and buy them now. Don't wait till day of because the ticket price goes up. They're $129 plus fees day of. So buy them now. Buy them before the 6th. So you can visit Eventbrite or go to BakersfieldVillageFest.com. There's an Eventbrite link right there. Then you can see all the bands, all the stages, get a site map, see who our sponsors are, see what beers you're going to be able to drink, and that sort of thing.
And talk about the sample card thing too, because I don't think a lot of people, especially who haven't gone to this, you go in, you get a cup with a card where people punch it for you, right?
Yeah, or like a Sharpie marker, that sort of thing. First, there's plenty of boxes on that card to check, right?
100%.
And that's kind of part of just sort of keeping track of how many samples we need to have for everybody there. And also a little bit of crowd control too. We work really closely with ABC here in Kern County to make sure that we have a fun event, but we also have a really safe event. So you're going to get your cup, you're going to get your card, and as you get your samples of beers, you're going to get little checks on your card, just keeping track of how much you've had and make sure that you don't get overserved like you would in any bar. But the food is completely unlimited. The music's completely unlimited. And I guarantee you, I don't think I've ever seen anyone with a fully checked beer card.
I don't think I have either.
Well,
everybody's usually pretty good about 3/4 of the way through that.
I mean, there's a lot of boxes on that card, my friend. There are a lot of boxes on that.
They don't skip you out on anything. The money you were paying, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah. And if you think about, how much it is for a night out on the town, if you were to go out and you were to eat and you were to go see a concert and you were to go out after, and what you get for that experience, if you had to pay for it like a la carte across Bakersfield, it's some pretty good bang for your buck. So head to BakersfieldVillageFest.com, head to Eventbrite, and I want to see you guys out there on the 6th.
Oh, 100%. I will definitely be out there. How's weather looking? Are we going to be cool this year?
Man, it's always warm on VillageFest,
I know,
but the second that sun goes down, the second it starts kind of dipping behind the trees, you're out there on the grass. The Kern County Museum is so gorgeous, and it gets so nice at night. You get a little kind of breeze through. Plus, we have tons of fans and tons of coolers rented, waters and ice all over the place. So I don't know. I always love it. I always end up thinking the weather's great.
Well, I agree with you, but it's like I was telling him, usually Village Fest for me is right when especially if you're local, that weather's going to start getting nice.
Oh, for sure.
Every time. True, Village Fest itself can be pretty warm every so often. But after that is usually when we start dipping back into the 80s, the 70s, and actually starting to feel like California again.
Yeah, no, I feel like Village Fest is just that kind of like that final moment of summer. It's right before the fair. Exactly. It's right before football season. It's kind of like that grand farewell. Kids are back in school. It really is. It's just like a nice little milestone in the year, and I'm 100%. Excited for it always.
Love it every single year. Thank you for coming and joining us and talking about it. Once again, it is next Saturday, September 6th, right? What's the times again?
6 to 10 p.m. And if you're a sponsor, you're getting in early at 5 o'clock for that early access with your VIP area and that VIP concourse.
Look at that. You can have half of your card already filled before anybody even walks on.
I know, right? I know.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate your time. We have to take a break, pay some bills. This is the Early Bird Special right here on 101.1 FM 1230 ESPN Bakersfield.
Welcome back. You always get the Rasta going just to feel good. You know what I mean?
Mento Buru.
Right?
Big shout out to Miranda and Matt Munoz, Mario, everybody over at the Mento Buru.
God, I can't wait for this weekend stuff. It's so much fun every year. My sister tried to plan we do like a sibling game night thing because full disclosure, pull the curtain back a little bit. I'm one of 7. Actually, I'm second oldest of 7. So we get together, all the kids and cousins and stuff, and do a game night and stuff like that. And she tried to plan that on the night of VillageFest. Yeah, me and my brother and his girlfriend immediately said, "That's not gonna happen. Sorry, can't make it. VillageFest that night. I'm going to that. That's a yearly traditional thing now. So I will be out there much as most of you should be as well. If you are not going to this event at VillageFest, it is worth the money. I mean, we at American General Media throw plenty of fests that are all very much worth the money as well. And this one, although not associated with us like that, is one of those that in Bakersfield is just a yearly tradition that you should make. It's just worth every bit of the money you're spending. And to be honest with you, there's not a lot of better festivals, not only in Kern County, but in California.
Yeah, the ones that'll last 30 years.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a reason.
30 plus. I mean, like I said, I didn't mean to make it sound like I'm aging myself again, but it's older than me. Or it's actually not older than me. It's the same age as me. So
I think that and the Mac and Cheese Fest are like the
fests. 2 big ones, yeah, here in Bakersfield.
I think the Brunch Fest is very close because that's my favorite personally. I'm a breakfast person, and although events in October are always better.
The bartenders,
yeah,
I'm telling you right now, if you didn't go to that this year, you missed out. You missed out on some great. I went home with some great drinks.
I ended up with Jerry's Pizza afterwards.
Like, I'm telling you, it was a fun get together. You're gonna want to go to this next year. I know we had a lot of influencers there this year that were pumping it up, and a lot of people I was looking through their comments were very excited to go next year. So
that's actually where I ran into Miranda and started getting this conversation rolling. But we'll work on some tickets. Hopefully we'll get some giveaways before the event next weekend. But like she said, go to BakersfieldVillageFest.com. If you'd like to get tickets. She said $120. The tickets will go up as you get closer to the event. And anyone with the family, you drop $120 at Chipotle with the family. So if you can get free drinks, free food, plus all sorts, 5 stages, plus you get to see our boy 24KG.
He is going to be one of those DJs on that stage in the back.
And if you haven't been out to the Neon Plaza out at the museum, it is so very cool. They got the old Andres sign, the old Sinaloa sign. There's all sorts of cool stuff out there.
That's why I wanted to highlight it, because I don't think there's a lot of people that have. I think a lot of people are just really just know the grass areas of Kern County Museum, which is, all the older buildings that have been pulled and placed in there, which are still cool to see. But no, you're right. Like, that neon area that they're building in the back corner has become one of the nicest areas. And at night, oh my Lord, it is beautiful to look at.
Well, we've got Bolt Brady coming up in a couple minutes. He'll get into college football and some other sports betting. But we have some time. We'll go over some of these texts. The first one says, my Patriots picked up Tommy DeVito, and I can totally see him playing because Drake is going to fail like we all know he's going to.
I would not go down that route, although I was happy to see Tommy DeVito get a job somewhere else. I don't necessarily think that Drake May is going to fall flat on his face. You're actually the first Patriot fan I know to say that out loud, to be honest with you.
I think that's why he texted it.
Probably. But you're he or she. I shouldn't assume your gender.
I know it's
like
not Kyle Kerr, because I know he's drooling on that Drake May train.
Kyle and I have had plenty of conversations about Drake May, and we both are on the same boat here that we expect at least him to step up this year.
The next one says, Burdick is starting to sound like a Dodger fan now.
Oh, God, don't get me started, okay?
And he said, and I get it, though. The Phillies aren't playing well now.
Whoa. We lost 2 to the Mets. Calm down, okay? I may have my frustrations with my Phils, but I will never leave the pinstripes, okay? Calm yourself. I give the Dodgers their due, but I want you to keep that same energy. I want all Dodger fans to keep that same energy, okay? Because here during the playoffs, when it comes down to my Phils or your Dodgers, and I start having to be a little mean to you guys, I don't want to hear all this, oh, you're so mean to the Dodgers. Why are you so mean? You never give us the credit. Shush. keep that energy. I've been nice to you guys, and it's going to continue to do so until further notice, until we actually see each other in the playoffs and we kill you like we always do.
The next one, Village Fest, is always fun, but make sure you Uber home because it gets crazy trying to get out of that parking lot.
If you do Uber home, know that Uber rates will go up. This is not going to be a $10 trip to your house, okay? But the good thing about this, although the tickets, you still have to pay for them, everything is free. After that, you don't have to walk up and pay for a beer. Okay. You're not paying for the food. All of that is with ticket price. It is a great event. Every single year, you're going to have fun. You're going to see people probably you haven't seen in forever because trust me, there are a lot of people that go to this event and you probably will know somebody. Go with a group of your friends. You're going to enjoy yourself. And if you make new friends, that's not even a bad thing. Who cares? Let's just go have a good time.
Just act
Break
right.
in the winter or break in the fall, break in football season. I'm ready, baby. I'm here for it.
The next one says, rich people love money. That $1 million will probably, would it be enough for at least a couple players to play?
I get that, and you're right. Rich people love money.
I think it'll
everybody
work
loves
for a
money.
couple years.
I just don't know if $1 million's enough.
I just think it'll be worth for a couple years, and then people get lazy with it, and they
Fair.
won't want to play it, or
Fair.
somebody will get hurt, and they're like, "Nope, we can't do this."
Again, the All-Star game in basketball in general just needs some sort of overhaul to keep it valuable and keep it just worthy of watching.
Well, this is several ideas that have been thrown out since last year's All-Star
Right.
game. We talked about the USA taking on the nations. We've talked about the NBA teaming up against the WNBA. We've seen all sorts of stuff that we
They don't want
try
that
to
smoke.
mix in Caitlyn and some of these stars into the 3-point contests. I mean, they're trying.
If we played NBA versus WNBA and WNBA won, I feel like all the NBA players would have to give up a game salary check. Every single player, not just the ones that played in the league or like played in the game. Every
donate
player
it to the WNBA.
Everybody donates. Your next game check has to go to the WNBA.
Let's see
and all
Lisa
their players.
Leslie against Draymond.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would love to see that too. But again, the structure of the All-Star game, I don't know is the issue. I think everybody knows what the issue is, and that's the competition part of it. And like Sparky has said multiple times, getting these guys to really want to play in the game, participate, and not just show up, actually participate. Because let's be honest, even the games themselves, the slam dunk contest, the 3-point contest, the skills challenge, all of them are really starting to get old and dull. And like, okay, how many times can we really watch one guy win this thing multiple times? You know what I mean? So it's just one of those situations that you have to take and move forward with. I'm not 100% sold if paying $1 million to these guys is really going to be that answer. Let's take a break real quick, pay some bills. We got our guy Bolt Brady coming on the show right after this, help you guys with some football games this weekend. Plus, I want to get his thoughts on the Ryder Cup team as it has been formed yesterday for the United States. This is the Early Bird Special right here on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield.
Bolt Brady.
It has been a while. The football season is here, so you know we have to call our guy Bolt Brady to get in here and help you guys make some money this weekend with college football starting. Plus, I gotta get his thoughts on the Ryder Cup.
Man, the myth, the legend, Bolt Brady is back.
Sir, how are you?
What's up, fellas? It's football season.
I'm excited. Are you now? First question: Lee Corso, are you gonna cry like I am on Saturday?
He was entertaining, but I'm not going to cry.
Oh, I don't know. I grew up with the man. I grew up, especially in this space. Everybody wanted to be Lee Corso. You wanted to put on that mascot head. Come on now.
He did bring great energy for many, many years.
Absolutely. Now, are you in the college football space? I assume you take that just as seriously as you do your NFL picks.
Yes, I take it seriously for sure. I'm not quite as much as the NFL, but it's up there for sure.
Any particular team that you like to ride with usually throughout the season?
No, definitely not. I don't have any alliances to any teams.
It's probably smart when it's coming to a handicapper. So I don't want my
wanted to make
my
sure.
sports guy being like, hey, I really like Texas, or I'm like, well, you're a Texas fan.
Well,
yeah.
When Arch Manning's the quarterback, I mean, hey, it's not.
Well, when I play 7 fantasy leagues, I try to separate my teams with my money.
This is true.
That's good.
Because it has definitely hurt me in the past, so I had to learn the hard way.
Right.
Well, before we get to your college football picks of the week, my friend, what are your thoughts on the Ryder Cup being announced and all of these great golfers being chosen, obviously led by the golden god of golf, as I'm starting to refer to him as on this show, in Scotty Scheffler?
Well, it's time for our team to sack up and play some ball.
That's what I said yesterday.
I know Scotty will, and I know Bryson will. To be honest, the rest of the team, I'm not so sure.
No.
No.
Not a lot of faith?
Not to say that they won't, but it's just time. It's time for us to do something.
I mean, you got a couple big names on the team. Colin Morikawa's up there. You got did DJ make it? I thought I saw Johnson on the number.
No, I think Bryson was the only one from the live. Yeah,
that makes sense. Do you think that's on purpose, that they kind of steered away from the live guys outside of obviously the one that's been doing the best, which is Bryson?
Maybe, but I know they also want to win too.
That's fair. Because I was kind of worried that the live golf, I mean, we've mentioned on the show multiple times, live golfers fall short usually at these PGA events. And I feel like it's because they don't play a full 4 rounds. They usually stop at 3. So there might be some conditioning and some competitiveness that's really lacking from live golf right now.
Right. And I don't think their courses are as difficult either.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. But what are your thoughts going into this entire first weekend of college football? Any major bets that you want to place and let our listeners know how they can make some money?
Well, I do have a few, I'll get to Ohio State, Texas, because I got a lot of requests from our listeners and friends. But tonight, it's not even tonight. It's 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Boise State travels down to South Florida, and the humidity, and they've had trouble in the past in the humidity when they go down to Florida, but everyone does. It's a real factor to take into consideration. So I like South Florida plus the 5.5 later this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Then tomorrow night, Neon Dion and the CU Buffaloes take on Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech's got a legit quarterback. There's actually a little Heisman talk about him. But if there's one time that you want to back Deion Sanders, it's the first game of the season when he just makes his players run through a wall. So I like CU getting plus 4.5 there. And Deion actually in this position as a home underdog is 4-0 against the spread. And then you get Big Daddy, Ohio State, Texas. And all the talk is about Manning, and it's incredible. There's not too much talk about Ohio State, the defending champion. Both teams lost a lot of players to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's about an even coin toss with that side of the equation. But listen, Ohio State's only lost 3 home games in the last 6 years, and 2 of them were to Michigan. You just don't go into the shoe and play easily. I like Ohio State, but just money line. Don't take the 1.5 point, just money line them there. And then lastly, wow, Bill Belichick, 3.5 months to plan for a game.
Yep.
right? ECU, this guy plans against Super Bowl teams, and now he's going against TCU for 3 months. I'll take Big Bill and the points on Monday with Carolina.
So I'll start with Carolina just because I'm curious of your thoughts on this. Do you think that the level of talent that he has on this Tar Heels team might stumble what we expect out of him as a coach? And I say that as he is used to obviously coaching professionals and them all the best of the best. Is him coaching college going to really ding him, do you think?
Well, listen, Bill doesn't really relate to anyone. It doesn't matter if they're in the NFL or college, right? So he'll bring in coaches that relate to the kids better. This is just a situational spot with he and Dion, the first game of the season. Bill, because he got so long to prepare. Dion, because he's going to get his troops fired up. He's going to tell them, hey, we don't have Shador anymore. We don't have the Heisman Trophy winner anymore. No one expects us to do anything, and he'll get them fired up.
I would love to say I have that kind of optimism. I don't know. For me, I don't know exactly when we started seeing the North Carolina Tar Heels as the football school. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody's forgetting that he's going into an organization that isn't exactly the most successful in the last couple of years. So he's going to have a year or two to turn this around, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but remember, we're just talking about one game.
Fair.
I'm just factoring in the one game, and same with Colorado. And that's why they refer to it as situational handicap. It's just this situation they benefit from, and so that's why we like them.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. And then I don't know if you've seen this or not, but before we let you go, any thoughts on Archie and this entire Heisman Trophy thing? Is he the betting favorite out in Vegas right now?
Yeah, actually not the betting favorite, but he sure is the talk of the town. I mean, it was interesting that his grandfather said that he was going to come back and play next year. He was already saying that. I don't know if he jumped the gun on anything, but unlike everyone else, I'm anticipating to see what he can do. He's a lot better runner than his uncles were. They couldn't do anything out of the pocket.
That's exactly what I've said.
Yeah, so that's something that he has in his favor. I'm excited to see what he can do too, but walking into Ohio State for, I know he got some PT and played against some teams that weren't as good as Ohio State. I mean, this is going to be big time.
But I think this is going to be the biggest test for him for sure, because obviously you're going into a game that's theoretically should have been the number 1 versus the number 2. The AP poll changed that though, unfortunately. And the last time we saw him go against anybody was Georgia, and that didn't look great.
No, and again, I mean, I don't think Ohio State is getting much credit here at all, and so they know that too. And to walk in that stadium of 100,000 people yelling down on you, that's not very easy to play in.
So I know we talk situational handicapping, and this might fall under that as well. But Ohio State playing the freshman quarterback, does that kind of steer you either way?
Well, so that's something to take into consideration, but having the home crowd behind you is huge, right? Now, let's look at Ohio State when they go on the road. Then it's going to be a whole different story.
Fantastic. Cool. And any other major bets that you have over the weekend that you want us to know about?
No, not really. I would just suggest, there's 133 Division I teams. It's hard to follow them all. So I would just suggest, follow the league, or you're part of the country, and it makes things a lot easier to follow those teams.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, sir. Well, thank you so much for your time this week. We'll talk to you again next week with our NFL startup. Woo-hoo. We're very excited to hear your thoughts on this first matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys, but we'll wait on that. We got a whole week to actually brew this over. So, sir, thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it. We got to take a break real quick and pay some bills. This is the Early Bird Special right here on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. funny you play this. Because we have, I guess you could call it a Michael Jackson situation. Oh. Well, they've just released, or at least The Athletic has released an article about the cause of death of now past owner of the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay, who apparently has dealt with a handful of overdoses in the last 5 years that no one knew about, including 2 back in 2020, 1 in 2023, all hidden by the organization to the public and told that he just had a bad respiratory situation going on. And all of this seems to be derived from what they called how do I put this? Specialist, I guess is the best way to put it, that was, I guess, prescribing Irsay with opioids over 200 in a day back in December of 2023, and was prescribing him ketamine in the final months of his life. So more Matthew Perry, I guess, than Michael, but this is just, I hate hearing these stories. I hate hearing stories of potentially good people. I say potentially because I didn't know the man personally. But everything I've heard about the man has been positive. There has been very little negatives outside of now this overdose story, which, again, you're a billionaire. That is what it is in life. And if the organization wants to hide it, then they can hide it if they want. And they did a dang good job because no one knew about it for 5 years. But when you have people that are supposed to be trusted individuals in your life, like specialists, especially medical specialists that are prescribing you pills, I'm glad that this is now putting a big spotlight on that guy, because these type of people need to be thwarted. These type of people need to be dealt with. We have now lost a handful of very well-known people to ketamine specifically, but to this type of situation where people that are supposed to be trusted allies in the medical field for these people just prey on them and use opioids to mask pain, create addiction, and effectively lead to their death. That's what you're doing. You're doing the exact opposite of what a medical specialist should be doing. You are leading someone to their death. And I don't know. That's my thoughts on this. I find this to be a little deplorable, or more than a little deplorable, but it's just what I hear that these types of situations happen. I was okay with just thinking Jim Irsay had a heart attack. But now we hear that Jim Irsay has been essentially fed ketamine and opioids for the last 5 years of his life that led to 3 overdoses, and now potentially a 4th. I'm assuming that's what this story was going down to. I've not been able to finish it yet, so I'm not going to speak out of turn. I'm not exactly sure what the cause of death is. I will have that answer for you tomorrow during the show, 7 to 9 a.m. But as of right now, what I've been able to read, the little I've been able to read from The Athletic when it just got dropped, this is ridiculous. Why? Why do we have to have this? Like,
addiction is a B.
And it's not necessarily the addiction. Shame on him for having the addiction, but it's also the people force feeding it.
No one's force fed anything. And if you got money, you'll find different routes to get it. That's what happens when you have a lot of money. And Michael Jackson was turned down several times with medication and found different doctors that would do it.
Yeah, that's
fair. And that's just the underground world of, addiction, whether it's pills, drugs, or anything. But to keep on to spin a positive story, we talked about the Kelsey Taylor engagement.
Yes.
And Fanatics just released that his jersey sales have gone up 200% from Monday to Tuesday.
Of course they have. One final push before your retirement, big guy. You're going to be he's going to be the highest sold jersey of the year. He really is.
Speaking of uniforms, the NFL debuted their rivalry uniforms this morning.
They look sweet.
The AFC East and the NFC West will be this year's teams. I've seen the Dolphins, the blacked out with the orange and teal. I love them. I actually had a jersey just like that back in the day growing up with Marino, but never got to see them actually wear it. So this will be the first. I believe they're going to wear them in a home game against the Jets this year. I saw the Bills all white,
clean as the Board of Health. All 8 of these jerseys look great. if I'm going to be honest.
I like the
about
Cardinals one.
The New England have
Seahawks.
this. I don't know. For those of you that are on stream, you can see this picture Drake made. This off-white helmet with a little blue jersey. Like, I like what they're doing. The traditional. I think that's a black helmet for the Rams, though. I can't necessarily tell, but it's a darker look for theirs. I think all of these look sweet. And to be honest with you, if this is what we're going to get for everybody, I'm in. I'm all for it. The only one I'm kind of curious about that I need to see in regular light, though, is the Arizona Cardinals. They have this sand-like sheen to it. I'm not sure what color it is.
Yeah, they're trying to use some type of local spin to these jersey.
And it all of them look great. And honestly, we've been doing it in the NBA, and those have all looked amazing too. Those City Connect uniforms have all looked great. I think this is really the next step for the NFL, is to really start showing out on these jerseys and uniforms, because I think baseball's done it pretty well too lately. Well, some of them. I'm still not crazy about the Dodgers birthday cake version of their uniforms, because that's what it is. That's all it is. I mean, you guys could look at it any other way, but that looks like birthday cake ice cream to me. And at this point, football's doing a dang good job. I like the Niners black and the prospector look to it. I think that looks really nice too. These are going to get clean. But I mean, last time we had this was the Color Rush uniforms. And
I love those.
Some of them are great. Some of them are fantastic. Then you got the ketchup and mustard game. And the really, really, really ugly neon green from Seattle.
I like the sauce.
I see. I did not.
I like those, and I like the all orange Dolphin uniforms.
Well, the orange ones were hit and miss.
I wore those at Halloween and beat the Bengals in overtime with the Cam Wake sack at the end.
That's right, because you guys were all orange and they were all white, and yet it was two orange teams going back to back. That again, some of these have been great. I think that these look fantastic. I just hope that everybody else here the next couple of years gets equally as good looking ones, because if we don't and we get some that look ugly as sin, some teams are going to be very upset.
And Deion Sanders, head coach of Colorado, proposed that college football playoff participants start receiving payments boosted further than each win. As you get farther, you get bigger bonuses.
If there's one man that knows how to rally to get more money for football players, it's Deion Sanders.
And he said that him and Nick Saban have been talking about it, and they think that that's something that they need to push, like the NFL does with playoff teams.
So is this more of like an incentive-based thing? So teams that make it would get a certain amount of money, I take it?
If you win, you continue to get more.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, you want to reward teams for making it that far, and what better way to do that? I mean, again, Deion is a spokesperson in his own right for all of these types of things, but it is good to see that. I feel like some people are just standing up for a lot of these kids and the money that they should be making. When you keep levying the amount, though, it's starting to worry me, just because how much money is it going to be until this really starts to become a problem? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's cool with it until that one quarterback gets paid $20 million and never takes a snap. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm really wondering, where is the levy going to break here for the NCAA? Because as much as it's nice to see the pendulum go to the opposite side, it's got to come back to the middle at some point. That's how life works.
And we got a jam-packed show tomorrow. We'll wrap up with our Fantasy Friday. We'll get into tight ends and defenses, run down the, what did we say, top 7?
Yeah, we're going to give you guys our top 7 plus 3 sleepers for each. So you'll get 10 technically for both positions. I know a lot of you have actually already started your fantasy drafts, though, so hopefully this still helps you. We tried to pick the most, well, I guess the least important position we feel out of all of them at the end, which would be tight ends and defenses.
We got Chris Flail, local comedian, joining us at 8 o'clock tomorrow, followed by the owner of Dionysus Brewing, Kyle Pitzer. We'll get into a Clash at Paris.
It's fantastic. Which our preview with 24kg, if you are a fan, is up on YouTube right now. You can go back and listen to it. If you didn't catch it on Tuesday, I'm going to start doing that a little bit more and more as we go as well. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and let me know what segments you would like to see from us, interviews, all that type of stuff. I'm going to try to get as many of them out there as humanly possible.
And if we have time tomorrow, I did pull the top 7 worst fantasy punishments for teams or for players or teams that end at the end. I know a couple people do. I know at MoneyWise we do, where we have to hold a sign up on Stockdale Highway.
Do you really?
Luckily I haven't been at the bottom.
Who? Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask who.
My buddy KP's had to do it a couple times.
A couple times?
Yeah.
If you have to do it more than once, my friend, you need to stop playing fantasy football.
That's what happens when they stop paying attention at the end. I'm like, dude, if you just win one more game, you don't have to do it.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. But at this point, I mean, everybody has fun with this type of stuff. I try to do this. All of my friends are always like, oh, yeah, we're totally up for that. And then when they realize that it's probably going to be them, they are
they back out quick.
They're not okay with it.
Well, this one is from the Bleacher Report, and they are big punishments.
Oh, they got great ones over there. I can't wait to hear this tomorrow. 7 to 9 a.m. Join us for our Fantasy Friday as you can all football season long right here on the Early Bird Special. And like you said, Chris Blale and the owner of Dionysus Brewing will be joining us as well. So we could talk a little bit of wrestling too for all you wrestling fans. Clash in Paris right around the corner this Sunday. We talked about a little bit on Tuesday, but we got to get a little bit more out as the week ends. We got to get out of here though. Thank you for joining us. Again, apologies if you were watching the stream. We went down and back up a couple times, but hopefully we were able to fix it and we won't have this issue tomorrow as well. But until then, we got to get out of here. 7 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And also join us on social media as well. Follow us, subscribe, share with your friends all over the place. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and pretty much any social media you can find us. Just look for the little bird and the worm right there at the Early Bird Special and the Early Bird Special Official. But until then, we got to get out of the way for the great Rich Eisen. Sparky, let's get out of here.